I speak of the challenges relating to the lack of opportunities available to the populations in Israel that find themselves living in the geographic or social periphery of the country. The social, economic, and educational gaps between the center of the country and the periphery are astounding and getting worse. These young social entrepreneurs are transforming their new homes from places of deprivation and irrelevance to places of dynamism and hope. We have invited two very special individuals to join us this evening to share their personal stories of what it means to build a mission-driven community and to share the impact that they and their friends have had on Israeli society and on Israeli culture in the process.
I wanted to be a famous actress on Broadway. Play all these crazy characters. Today, the Tarbut movement is a network of over 500 artists. It's about being a different kind of artist. An artist who wants to be a voice for those who have none, and whose mission in life is to also give that voice to those who need it the most. And I believe that if we are able to take young, motivated artists and get them to move to the geosocial periphery of Israel, we can create a shift in Israeli society that will be tremendously impactful. And so we packed our bags and we moved to Afula. Now, just for the info, Afula is not in the center of Israel. It's in the north. It's a low-income town in the north of Israel. What we started doing was working very, very grassroots, like you heard before in the story, going into doing shows in the neighborhood and community theater, working with kids, creating community events. Is it enough that we have one group of artists in one place trying to affect this change, trying to create this difference? And we said, well, no, it's not enough to just be in one place. We need this idea to spread. We started working with municipalities all over the country. We started working with the army, with the Ministry of Education, and creating a course that young people can come and join us through. And an urban art kibbutz is a renewal of the traditional kibbutz idea. And today, the Tarbut movement has many kibbutzim. We have 250 community members that are spread out all over the country. And me, well, I get my time on stage every now and then. The cultural landscape in the city has totally transformed. If you want to affect an entire society, a nation, its culture, its values, if you want to imagine in Israel that you want to live in, then it starts by changing the future of your own reality, here and now. Thank you.
My teachers always used to look at me and say, Yuval, you have got potential. I keep on saying it, you have got potential. 5 minutes later, like you guys at the back, they used to kick me out of class because I was making too much noise. But they always told me, you have got potential. I made it all the way to university, to one of the best colleges in Israel, and started studying there. And while I was studying there, the IDC, one day, I'm hearing a lecture from a guy who is talking about the city that he called it the social and geographical periphery in Israel. It's something like that. And he was talking like really on things like I felt like reminds me of my childhood. You remember this moment? You think about your childhood. And I went to this guy at the end and I told him, would it be okay if I come to the city that you were just talking about, the city of Lod, for a tour, just to show me around? He said, yeah, of course. I took the train, 15 minutes drive from Tel Aviv, with a train. He picked me up from the train station, and guess what I'm seeing? Somebody thought that my neighborhood was such a successful model that they made the whole city look like this. 74,000 people live like I lived in my neighborhood. and nobody does anything about it. While Israel is striving forward to be the startup nation in Tel Aviv and in Jerusalem, some cities are being left behind. And in this story in law that I had with this guy, I said, we must do something about it. I must do something about it. That's when we decided to establish the Totzeret Haaretz program, the Made in Israel program. Because if you think about those cities, and what those cities are really need, they need somebody to come, look them in the eyes and tell them, you have got potential. Something can come out of you. You're located 15 minutes away from Tel Aviv. There is no way you won't succeed. They need young people who would believe in a change that can happen in the city. And I was telling people about this city, 15 minutes away from Tel Aviv, you must come and see it. And eventually they came, 25 people. And they sat in a room, just like you're sitting right now. I was talking about Lod. And I told them at the end, listen, only the best 30 out of you are going to be accepted into the program. He looked aside, said, dude, we're 25. And I told them, I know, but you're the best 25 you could have found. We offered them a scholarship to subsidize their, what they pay to university and subsidize their rent. And in return, we asked for 3 things. One of them, move to the city. But don't move anywhere you want. Just choose one neighborhood and rent an apartment in this specific neighborhood. 25 people rent an apartment together in one neighborhood. Not together in the same apartment, in the same neighborhood. Find something specific that is bothering you. Take a group of 2, 3, 4 friends and lead a change in this issue. Like, for example, if the community center in your neighborhood is shut down from some reason, go to the mayor, ask for the key, and open it. So these 25 students who started with us became a community of 350 students that moved into the city of Lod. And then one day, we get a happy announcement of somebody saying, listen, I'm pregnant. Oh, great, we're really happy for you. No, I need a kindergarten. Okay, do we start operating in this? So 25 kids were born in the city of Lod, so we had to open a kindergarten. So we opened the first kindergarten in Lod, and of course, as you can guess from the way I'm talking, this is not a kindergarten only for them. It's an integrative one that combines the kids from the city with the kids that was born to the students of Lod. The idea of operating in one city can give you a lot of experience, but you feel as if you're doing something really significant and you can do it in other cities. More than 600 students and young families are participating in our program this year. 9 different cities, 130 graduate, and $4.5 million. This is the annual budget of the program. And guess what? We have a waiting list of 20 different cities in Israel that are waiting for us to come and bring Totzeret Haaretz over. You're being amazed by the fact that somebody, and inspired, that somebody choose to support what we're doing in Israel. The fact that we're taking responsibility in the future in Israel and you're supporting us from across the ocean. Zionism in the year of 2018-2019 is making sure that there won't be a social and geographical periphery in a city that is located 15 minutes away from Tel Aviv. One of the most interesting tools to do that is by building communities of young activists who would move into the city and change the destiny of the city. And how do I know that the destiny of a city is changed? I'll tell you. 2 days before I went on a plane, I was talking to the mayor of Lod, the city that we got into 6 years ago. And he was informing me that Lod, the city that bankrupted 10 years ago, and her mayor was sent to jail, won the first prize for education excellency for the year of 2018. The first prize of Israel. Out of all the municipality, Lod won it. This is an amazing story, and it didn't happen only because of us. But I can tell you that those students who moved into the city, who later on became teachers and started working in the municipality, are one of the biggest moving forward forces that got into the city. And this amazing phenomenon hadn't been happening if it wasn't for them and if it wasn't for your support. So, with that, thank you very much for listening, and
just in this visit, Yuval and I have already started a few joint projects together, so that's also part of it.
Could your movement work if you also didn't have that really personal connection with each other?
Whether it will be enough to just send those people to live in the social periphery and they will become a community, and the answer to that is maybe, but most likely not. Like, If you want to make sure that they will become a community, you have to be really active about it. And there are different methods of doing it. Like our program obligates the students, as they're coming, to meet once a week. If you have a structure, a really hold-on structure that you can work on, this is a great way to build a community.
I was very impressed by the people that we met that came from Israel. They started mission-driven communities. And what I was impressed with, they started with an idea and they did something about it. And they were very successful in giving back to the community, creating jobs for people, really making a difference in Israel. And it was a topic I knew nothing about before I came.
I really liked the program because it showed how youth in Israel can make a difference, and also their what they were talking about seemed like sustainable goals. And it also explained, like, when I go to Israel in the future, what I should visit to really understand what's going on in Israel.
Tonight's program was wonderful. I think so often we think about what we can do for Israel, and it was great to see a program about what young Israelis are deciding to do to change the country and the cities that they live in. Definitely motivates you to get out, see what you can do in the community around you, and it's wonderful knowing what everyone's doing in Israel.
So every time I hear about these communities, I am totally inspired. These young, dynamic, enthusiastic, idealistic Israelis who are out to change Israeli society. And they are truly the new Chalutzim, the new pioneers, and there are so many of them that they are transforming Israeli society.